Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome students, advisory board members, faculty, staff, and guests to the final presentations of the 2026 cohort of ELSEWORKS Business Analysts. I'm David Culpepper, faculty chair of ELSEWORKS. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to recognize a few individuals and partners who make this program possible. First, President Neville, whose leadership has continued to create and nurture opportunities for experiential learning at Millsaps, as well as other innovative learning opportunities that respond to the fast-changing economy we're living in. President Neville embraces Jackson and all the leadership opportunities it provides. ELSEWORKS embraces Jackson as well. Our new provost, Daniel Jasper, has already taken the time to engage with ELSEWORKS, including participating in a recent tour of Midtown, an early signal of his commitment to understanding what we do and why it matters. Dean Harvey Pfizer of the L School has been a strong and consistent advocate for ELSEWORKS, continually challenging us to expand our reach and deepen our impact. This year, that growth is evident with our largest cohort yet, 25 analysts working across a wide range of projects. I'd also like to recognize my long-term colleagues and partners in building ELSEWORKS, Dr. Pretty Prinshaw and Dr. Blakely Fender. The three of us, along with Ray Grubbs, now retired, have worked together on this initiative for 16 years, and it has been incredibly rewarding. We have been blessed to have the opportunity to work with students so talented, committed, and thoughtful. We've also continued to expand our faculty involvement. For their contributions this year, I'd like to recognize the following individuals. Please stand as I call your name, and let's hold the applause. Dr. Monica Rawl, Dr. Max Littlejohn, Dr. Randall Valentine, Dr. Michael Pickard, there's Michael, Dr. Steve Pickering, Ms. Cheryl Duhan, Ms. Bonnie Dorman, Bonnie here, and Mr. Paul Thomas, who's at Columbia Business School. I'd like to now introduce someone who is near and dear to our heart and has tremendous day-to-day impact on this program. Landry Lemoyne, who is our Director of Business Analysts. Landry is an alum of ELSEWORKS and continues to set the standard as both a leader and a mentor for this team. Landry, please stand. Give him a hand, please. We are also grateful for the many community partners who have worked alongside our students throughout the year. Their collaboration is what makes the program truly meaningful, and you'll hear more about that impact in the presentations to follow. The college and ELSEWORKS has had a special relationship with the Midtown community across the street going back a long time. We have several projects there that you will hear about today. To give you a little personal history, a quick story is I happen to have here today two roommates. Three of us lived in Midtown 50 years ago. I'd like to recognize both of them. First, Roger Smith. Stand up, Roger. Roger's in the back. Roger served on the trustees for 10 years and is retiring, never missed a meeting. And I'd also like to recognize Brad Chisholm. Brad, would you stand up, please? Brad has brought two rich projects to our analysts over the past 2 years, one River Remedy and the other Galloway Methodist Church. Both of these projects have been wonderful, wonderful learning tools for our analysts. I'd like to thank both of these individuals, both friends, for their contributions. Regarding Midtown, we work very closely with Midtown Partners, Inc., who actually recruited us to Midtown 15 years ago. And speaking of Midtown partners, this is Christy Hendricks walking in, standing up for you. She is Executive Director of Midtown Partners, and she ought to be a Fortune 500 CEO. She's really, really good. Christy also teaches, she also teaches nonprofit management here at Millsaps as an adjunct professor. Is Gina here? Oh, okay. Is Dr. Erica Thompson here? Hadn't met maybe yet. Okay. Matthew McLaughlin? Matthew in the back, would you stand up, Matthew? Matthew's an alum, and he is the primary principal of Fertile Ground Brewery, in Belhaven, and that has also been a very fertile project for the analysts. Trey Malone. Trey Malone is with Northshore Coffee. Which is in Midtown, as well as elsewhere. And I'm going to have Trey say just a few words.
Yeah. So I've been working with ELSEWORKS for 4 years now, and every single year I think this is one of the best programs for businesses that I've ever seen. So as a serial entrepreneur, I have more ideas than I know what to do with. And so I essentially have a group of young and brilliant and hungry minds that just get to feed these ideas through and hear if they're bad or if they're worth investing in. And it's just been so good for me as an entrepreneur in Midtown. Our HQ is right across the street, right down here. And so it's just been so great to work with this group year over year. And I'll be coming back as long as they have.
There's Coach Lechtenberg here, Majors football. Okay, you'll hear about that. Downtown Jackson, we had several projects from downtown Jackson. Is Elizabeth Fowler here? Elizabeth, would you stand up? Elizabeth is with Jackson Rising, and that is an effort to create incubators in downtown Jackson, primarily on Capitol Street. And as you'll hear, ELSEWORKS has worked in the past with them, along with Liz Brister, with Jackson Downtown Partners. So you will hear more from them. Koala Insulation, is Bo Brady here? I know Zach's here. Bo, stand up, please. Bo's an entrepreneur, and he owns Koala Insulation, and we've just recently started a project. You'll hear about it. Okay, Galloway United Methodist Church. I know Reverend Reagan, Miss Kelly is here. Would you stand up, please? Thank you. And Brad, would you say a few words about that project?
Sure. About a year ago, we were in the midst of a strategic planning exercise and wrestling with a lot of data that wasn't necessarily easy to understand or very encouraging. And then a Millsaps board member says, I got an idea. Why don't we get the ELSEWORKS team to help us figure some of this out? And that began a wonderful partnership. They just completed their presentation the other night to our church administrative council and our pastoral staff. We're very excited about moving ahead with a number of the recommendations. This is unusual blending. I think this is what you're about, where white minds and business edge to them are able to lend that expertise to nonprofits and institutions of faith, and I think that's just a great testament to the school.
Thank you. Is Ross Fowler here? Is Ross here? Ross is a friend and a long-time Clarion Ledger, Mississippi Business Journal writer, and hopefully he'll write something nice about us. Thank you for being here, Ross. Finally, I'm going to step out of my lane for just a moment to recognize someone who has meant and contributed so much to this program over a very long period of time. For 16 years, Dr. Penny Crenshaw spent her summers interviewing and recruiting new cohorts of analysts, getting to know them, challenging them, and helping shape who they would become. At the same time, she has been out in the community, meeting with businesses and nonprofits, cultivating projects that give our students real purpose and real responsibility. She brought structure when it was needed. She set high expectations when it mattered most. She never lost sight of the bigger goal. That is not just completing these projects, but ensuring that our students truly learn, grew, and gain confidence from the experience. And she continues to lead by example. She served as lead author for a journal article published just last month that documents this ELSEWORKS initiative and its impact on the community and our students. This is work that many at this stage of their careers would step away from. Penny chose to lean in. She has been a teacher, a mentor, a leader, and for so many of our students, a role model they will carry with them long after they leave. We will miss her deeply. I will miss her deeply. But we are also incredibly grateful for her devotion to ELSEWORKS and its students, and genuinely happy for her as she begins this next chapter. When you really step back and think about it, what has made ELSEWORKS successful, what has made it meaningful, it's not just the idea or the structure or even the outcomes. It's been the people. And in so many ways, Penny has been the heart and soul of that experience. And what you're about to see today is part of that legacy. Keely and Anthony, would you please present the gift to Dr. Penny Crenshaw as a small token of our appreciation? Would Group 1 please come to the front?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the final status presentation of ELSEWORKS. We are so thankful to have all of you guys here today.
Each year, ELSEWORKS has been growing and expanding, and this year is no different. We have a talented group of 25 analysts who have been working across our portfolio of 15 companies. If you look at the handout in front of you, you will see all of our analysts displayed along with a short description of each project. And we have listed our amazing faculty who have guided and mentored us every step of the way. And just as a quick reminder, please hold all questions until the end of the first project group.
Every organization has a story, but the question is, who tells that story? Here at ELSEWORKS, the communications team is the one who gives that story a voice, a brand, and a platform. And today, we're so excited to share with you how we've been able to do that throughout the school year. My name is Amber Cora, and I am a graduate analyst here at ELSEWORKS from Madison, Mississippi.
And my name is Natalie Burke, and I'm also a graduate analyst from Vicksburg, Mississippi. When people think about communications, what we do goes so far beyond just posting online. Our mission is to tell the real story of ELSEWORKS, to highlight the impacts that our analysts make on campus and Jackson and across Mississippi. Through strategic messaging, graphic design, and video storytelling, we connect ELSEWORKS to prospective students, community partners, and most importantly, the local businesses that truly rely on the work that our analysts do.
Behind the scenes, we're creating meaningful content so that people can truly feel the impact that ELSEWORKS creates in the community and on our analysts. For example, here's one of our new videos that we posted.
ELSEWORKS means making a difference in our community. ability to contribute to local businesses in Jackson and the overall economy in Jackson.
In ELSEWORKS, I've learned how to build community partnerships.
Learning just doesn't happen in the classroom, it happens everywhere.
Presentational skills.
ELSEWORKS has taught me data analytics.
Practical consulting skills and how to use AI efficiently.
Growth individually and in a business environment.
Community service.
Marketing skills through Canva.
Hands-on experience that I don't think you can get anywhere else in the country, much less the world.
I love the professors. I love the professors so much, they're so cool.
As you can see, this year has been full of momentum. We recently filmed the first episode of our brand new podcast, which tells the story of how ELSEWORKS was created. We've redesigned both the ELSEWORKS and Business Association of Midtown's websites. We've been rolling out new project and analyst spotlights and also creating your favorite Fun Friday post. Each of these projects helps us highlight the growth, creativity, and collaboration happening across ELSEWORKS every single day.
And yes, we're basically everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, our new podcast, and we are continuing to expand. We will be launching alumni spotlights soon, starting with our first one, who is Molly Perry, a 2024 Millsaps graduate, who has recently been named the editor of the Ole Miss Law Journal. So follow along to see analyst wins, business transformations, and the impact being made right here in Jackson.
And speaking of impact, our next team knows exactly what it takes to create lasting change in our community. Gavin and Mima with the Hangar, take it away.
Mississippi has never had shortage of stories, but the problem is where the stories are being produced. That gap between story and storytelling is exactly what Hangar is designed to solve. My name is Uma Bartonwala. I'm a graduate analyst from Indore, India.
And my name is Gavin Williams. I'm a senior analyst from Troy, Alabama. The Hangar is a creative production hub in Midtown Jackson, centered around a professional soundstage and supported by podcast studios, photography space, and content production environments.
Our team's role this semester was to produce a comprehensive, narrative-driven booklet that communicates what Hangar is, why it matters, and how it can grow into a sustainable and scalable operation. The booklet is designed to walk the stakeholders through start to finish and starts with a simple question: why does it matter? Mississippi has always had powerful stories to tell, but without the lack of infrastructure, those stories are often produced elsewhere. For example, Sinners, a major blockbuster, a film deeply rooted in Mississippi's culture and identity, was filmed in Louisiana due to the lack of in-state production.
The booklet highlights the opportunity that Mississippi holds something many other markets cannot replicate: authenticity. Its culture, history, identity create a foundation that positions well for growth in an evolving content and production industry. Led by Roger Gregg and located in Midtown Jackson, the Hangar is positioned as more than just a facility. It's a platform designed to support creators, retain talent, and enable production to happen within Mississippi.
The booklet outlines a phased approach. Phase 1 focuses on activating the existing space for small-scale production and events. Phase 2 focuses on building the core soundstage. Phase 3 builds out the whole ecosystem with recurring clients and partnerships. The booklet then expands the vision beyond the space itself. Economically, it creates jobs and retains talent. Educationally, it provides students with a real production, and culturally, it retains Mississippi stories in the state itself.
The booklet concludes by answering why now, emphasizing that as content production becomes more decentralized, Mississippi has a real opportunity to step in, but only if the infrastructure exists. But vision alone is not enough. Our team next step was translating the vision into something measurable, scalable, and financially viable.
Our team built a detailed financial analysis, built by 3 revenue drivers: existing clients, inbound inquiries, and local market. Using Roderick's historical client data, pricing structure, and real utilization patterns, the team applied these demand drivers into the phased revenue model that reflects how the business would scale realistically. From there, the team developed a full pro forma, including revenue ramp-up, utilization assumption, and capacity constraints, to ensure projections stayed grounded in real demand and what the space can actually support. This allowed the team to evaluate on key metrics, which is break-even pricing, revenue projection, and long-term growth potential.
The goal of this booklet is to make the Hangar understandable, credible, and investable. It provides a clear narrative for potential partners, investors, and stakeholders while also serving as a roadmap for future growth. Most importantly, it brings the gap between idea and execution, showing not just what the Hangar could be, but how it can be realistically built and sustained over time. Now, from filming box office hits to hits in the boxing ring, let's pass it on to Carson and TJ with Mississippi Athletic Commission.
Now, imagine sitting ringside at a boxing match. The crowd, the energy, and the intensity. And it is all happening in our state of Mississippi. But not a lot of people talk about it. There is a market for a lot of combat sport events. That's why the Mississippi Athletics Commission engaged our team. My name is Tejas Rathore. I'm a senior analyst from Indore, India.
My name is Carson Shaznak. I'm a graduate analyst from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So, the Mississippi Athletic Commission oversees and regulates combat sports all across the state, including boxing, MMA, and jiu-jitsu, ensuring that events are safe, credible, and professionally run. Now, it works closely with promoters and individuals and organizations that are responsible for organizing, funding, and hosting these events, coordinating everything from venues to fighters to audience turnout.
Our team got the opportunity to attend 2 live events in Hattiesburg and Biloxi, gaining first-hand experience by being ringside and observing how these events are executed, promoted, and experienced by the fans. Our team's primary deliverable were recommendations for social media to build a more consistent and professional digital presence, and the creation of a promoter-facing informational guide. The goal is to position Mississippi as a competitive and attractive location for combat sport events. The guide outlines the Commission's roles, highlights the venues and amenities across the state, and provides a structured, accessible, and an easy guide for promoters to act on.
Now, our work creates a strategy for growth to help the Commission attract more events, build relationships with promoters, and increase overall awareness across the state and country. Now, from fight nights to Friday nights, let's welcome Russell and Shagun with the Fertile Ground team.
When you think about what makes Jackson special, it's places that bring people together, like Fertile Ground Brewery. It's where community, conversation, and culture all meet. Hi everyone, I'm Russell Davis, and I'm an undergraduate analyst from New Iberia, Louisiana.
And my name is Shagun Singh Gautam, undergrad analyst from Indore, India. Fertile Grounds is located in Bellhaven Town Center and has become central part of Jackson's community since its opening in 2022.
Co-owned by Millsaps alum Matthew McLaughlin, the brewery continues to grow. And this year, the team was tasked with exploring a strong connection between Fertile Ground and Millsaps College.
This resulted in designs for Millsaps branded beer can for our game days. We also looked at some other successful university collaborations, such as LSU's partnership with Bud Light.
Next, the team developed multiple designs, balancing vintage and modern styles, while ensuring topography, color, and branding align closely with Millsaps' identity. As you can see here, each concept was built to feel authentic to both the college and the brewery. Stay tuned for football season, and perhaps you'll see a Millsaps golden egg.
While Fertile Ground bring people together here in Jackson, our next project takes that experience abroad. We'll hand it over to Amrit and Lily for VinoLandia Spain project.
When people think about travel to Spain, they probably think about the bigger cities. But some of the most meaningful experiences come from the smaller, more immersive experiences.
And that is exactly what VinoLandia Spain is built around. It's a boutique, customizable, wine-focused travel experience across Spain, developed by Millsaps professor and chair of modern languages, Dr. David Wood, alongside his business partners from Jackson State. Hi everyone, I'm Lily Moore. I'm a graduate analyst from Fort Worth, Texas.
Again, I'm Amber Kaur, and we started on this project in the beginning of March, so it's in its early stages.
The team conducted a competitive analysis across 3 different categories: direct competitors, adjacent travel models, and emerging boutique operators. The team looked at customer characteristics, group size, pricing, amenities, structure, and overall positioning. Our research showed a really strong and growing market for small group guided travel, especially among older travelers seeking a curated, stress-free international experience.
Based on this competitive analysis, we were able to inform recommendations on the website, including making the trip structure, pricing, and itinerary easier to understand, and strengthening storytelling through content and visuals so that potential travelers could envision their experience there.
Dr. Wood and his team will actually be guiding their first tour next month.
And Dr. Wood, if needed, we're more than happy to come join you on your trip and take care of all the content for you. That concludes the presentations for Group 1. Thank you for your attention, and now I will pass it over to Landry to open the floor for questions.
I'd like to open the floor for any questions that we have for these 5 groups up here today. Does anyone have any questions? We'll bring a mic up to you all if they do. Yes, sir. Let me bring a mic to you. Yeah.
That's okay. I can yell.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Thank you.
Paul Bennett wanted to know if he could put his name on one of those beer cans.
Yes, great question. The guy to talk to is right back there with the Hawaiian shirt. He's got you. Thank you all. Any other questions for today for this group? Perfect. Okay. I'd like to ask group 1 to step down. And make sure y'all bring y'all's names with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'd like to ask group 2 to please come up to the stage.
Our next project is River Remedy. I'm Philip Antis, a sophomore analyst from New Orleans, Louisiana.
And I am Alfredo Espinosa, an MBA candidate from Mérida, Yucatan, Mexico. River Remedy is a vertically integrated medical cannabis company serving patients across Mississippi. The company is led by CEO William Chisholm and Brad Chisholm, senior advisor at Millsaps alum. Together, they built a company focused on quality, patient care, and community impact in a market that is becoming more mature and competitive. River Remedy has expanded through the acquisition of dispensaries and now operates in 5 markets.
This semester, the team conducted a competitive landscape analysis, focused specifically on dispensaries in River Remedy's key Mississippi markets, including Corinth, Byram, Hattiesburg, Hernando, and Gulfport. The goal was to evaluate how River Remedy compares to nearby competitors and identify what these competitors are doing well across the whole patient experience.
To support this analysis, the team developed a structured scoring rubric based on 5 key factors: social media presence, website quality, posting frequency, pricing competitiveness, and product selection. This framework provided River Remedy with a clear and objective view of its competitive positioning and identified the operators that are applying the greatest pressure within each market.
The analysis showed that the strongest competitors, especially operators like Dabs and Root Down, succeed through a combination of broad selection, consistent promotions, strong online ordering, and brand execution. At the same time, other dispensaries differentiate through wellness-focused messaging, education, and clear and more curated, community-oriented experiences that resonate strongly with female consumers.
As shown here, our rubric findings provide a statewide view of dispensary performance, with River Remedy standing out at the top of the market, as well as precision operator with with the market. Its fundamentals are strong with a broad product selection, a credible digital presence, and a quality-driven reputation. The opportunity is to sharpen how River Remedy's identity is communicated and make the brand elements more consistent across its locations.
The team's recommendations included, first, strengthening brand clarity by positioning River Remedy as a parent brand while maintaining localized accounts for each dispensary. These accounts should focus on community-specific content, but remain visually and strategically aligned through consistent naming, design, and messaging. For example, identifiers such as Lighthouse by River Remedy help preserve local brand equity while clearly connecting each location to the parent brand, creating a system that is both locally relevant and cohesive.
Second, River Remedy already sells in-store, where bartenders create a knowledgeable, patient-focused experience that builds trust. The opportunity is to extend that experience earlier in the customer journey through social media and digital channels. By offering educational content around specific needs such as sleep, pain, or stress, the digital channels can inform before the visit.
And third, more intentionally target the female wellness market. This is a growing segment that values clarity, comfort, and a wellness-focused approach, and many competitors are already leaning into it.
The team presented these findings directly to River Remedy's leadership to support their move from being a strong independent operator to a more clearly differentiated and strategically brand in Mississippi. And we're excited to share that River Remedy has recently entered a partnership with the Milwaukee Nation, a move that will support and expand cultivation, increase product availability, and the company next phase growth across Mississippi. This transaction included a significant liquidity event for River Remedy's investors. From one kind of health service to another, we now transition to Chris and Philip with the Mississippi Public Health Institute.
Strong public health systems don't just happen. Instead, they're built intentionally through funding strategy, governance, and clear communication. This semester, our team at ELSEWORKS partnered with the Mississippi Public Health Institute to understand how public health institutes across the country operate and how MSPHI can learn from them. I'm Chris Arrington, and I'm a senior analyst at ELSEWORKS, and I'm from Madison, Mississippi.
And again, I'm Philip Antis.
Under the leadership of Dr. Steve Pickering, the team analyzed public health institutes across all 50 states. We reviewed IRS Form 990 data revenue to evaluate its concentration of public health institutes. We looked at website clarity and governance structures. Our research showed that most public health institutes heavily rely on grant funding. Most of them rely to 80 to 100% of their revenue comes from grants. This shows a significant level of vulnerability. However, there are organizations that have more diversified revenue streams, like the Texas Public Health Institute. Here at the Texas Public Institute, they generate their revenue from other streams of income, such as program service revenue, which comes from training, consulting, and conferences and similar offerings, though this approach is relatively uncommon and not used across many public health institutes.
Our website audit found that many public health institutes lack strong, user-friendly websites, creating missed opportunities. We also outlined governance best practices, noting that effective boards typically have 5 to 13 members, and often an odd number, to support efficient decision-making.
Our role this semester has been to identify national benchmarks so that MSPHI can learn how to be informed in its strategies moving forward.
Now, from building healthier communities to fueling them, let's welcome Blake and Brady with Northshore Coffee.
The way people get their coffee is changing. Speed, convenience, and consistency are becoming the new standard. Hi, my name is Brady St. Martin, a graduate analyst from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And I'm Blake Wiley, a senior analyst from Montgomery, Texas. At the center of this project is Zeke, a 24/7 automated beverage machine that offers coffee, matcha, energy refreshers, and energy drinks in under a minute. Powered by Kia Cafe technology developed by Northshore Coffee, Zeek offers consistent quality with minimal labor and a small footprint.
Our team's focus this year was to present Aramark, who is the current food and beverage supplier for Millsaps College. We created a pitch deck for Aramark, who is the current food and beverage provider for Millsaps College. This included pricing, operations, break-even analysis, projected performance. All of this to allow Aramark to evaluate Zeek as the future beverage option for Millsaps College.
Operationally, Zeek is designed for efficiency, requiring only about 1 hour of daily maintenance with no need for full-time staffing. The model presented was with no upfront cost, revenue share partnership, giving Aramark a low-risk way to expand the beverage offerings. Based on our projections, and even at moderate usage, Zeek can generate strong margins, making it viable even in smaller campus environments like Millsaps.
To validate demand, our team hosted 2 separate sampling events with over 120 participants. This is important since our sales were subpar as students currently use their major bucks to purchase drinks. However, our results showed a really strong interest, with our top performing drinks averaging a 7 out of 10 rating, and about 80% of participants indicating that they would purchase drinks from Zeek if they could use their major bucks. Overall, this strengthened student access by providing a 24/7 grab-and-go option while offering Aramark a viable way to diversify campus beverage service and ease demand on its current operations. The next step in our process is now to present to Aramark and sell Zeek as a scalable, low-labor beverage solution for Millsaps and perhaps other campuses.
From brews to beer, let's transition to Brady and Willie on the Midtown Depot team.
Think about your ideal Friday night. You want a place that's easy, social, outdoors, somewhere that's connected to the city. This is exactly where the Midtown Depot fits in.
The Midtown Depot is an ongoing ELSEWORKS project that is the most unique spot in Jackson. It is an outdoor venue built for connection, events, and community. Hi everybody, I'm Willie Elliott, a junior analyst from Houston, Texas.
And yes, I'm still Brady, I just switched projects. I'm also the general manager for the Midtown Depot. And this year, our team had one pretty simple goal: drive as many consistent events as we could to get as many people through the space as possible.
And we've made progress. This semester alone, the Depot has hosted live music, bingo nights, crawfish boils, and most notably, and recently, a vintage clothing market that brought in 500 attendees.
These events really demonstrated the Depot's true potential to draw significant crowds whenever our program aligns correctly with the right audience. Our team has also expanded event variety, attracting a broader mix from around the Jackson community.
The pricing, event agreements, and booking and management, as well as communications, have all been specially tailored to new events to maximize depot efficiency and customer availability.
Looking ahead, the Depot will continue to build on this momentum. A boxing and an MMA event is now scheduled in collaboration with the Mississippi Athletic Commission, alongside continued live events and expanded community programming.
The focus moving forward is simple: to maintain consistency while maximizing programming and attracting new audiences to the space.
And in the next few weeks, we've got our senior football crawfish bowl for the Millsaps football team coming up. And with that, Finn, it feels right to pass it to Bennett Evan with the Millsaps Majors football program.
My name is Ben Anderson. I'm studying economics and computer science, and I'm from Colorado.
And I'm Evan Watson, studying accounting from Post City, Alabama. Today, we're excited to present 2 deliverables that we provided for an internal client, Coach Lechtenberg and the football team. The first is an analytics-driven scouting report, and the second is a fan guide. To begin, we'd like to tell you about the football analytics. If you watch college or NFL football today, you probably notice that games are increasingly driven by data. Graphics pop up mid-game, showing win probabilities, fourth down recommendations, and more. At the highest levels, programs spend millions of dollars per year just on analytics staff and software. Millsaps doesn't exactly have that kind of budget, but Coach Lech still faces the same critical decisions every Saturday. That is where ELSEWORKS came in.
We were granted access to thousands of play-by-play data observations and asked to turn it into clear, actionable insights the coaching staff can use not only on game day, but literally on every play on the sidelines. The work started during the 2024 fall season. We began by analyzing the data and building opponent and self-scouting charts that show run and pass percentages broken down by field position, personnel groupings, and down and distance. During the 2025 season, we focused on fully automating these reports, which gave us the ability to start building additional tools for the coaching staff. The first of these tools were reports to track defensive efficiencies, focusing on the ability to create negative plays and keep offenses off schedule.
Before we began our analytical work in 2023, the team went just 1-9. When Coach Leck arrived in 2024 and we started building out the analytics, that season the team jumped to 500 at 5-5, and this year they improved to a winning season of 6-4.
Now on to the part that we're most fired up about. Everything that we just walked through, the scouting reports, the tendency breakdowns, that's what's been in the coach's hands for the past 2 seasons. Building on that work, we are now developing the Majors Game Management Model, which brings 2 machine learning models together under a single real-time interface designed for coaches to use during the games.
The first is a 4th down decision model designed to keep Coach Leck's name and face out of headlines like this. Here's a look at the current prototype. It's designed to give immediate feedback for any 4th down situation. For example, the Majors are down 3 at the Roach 28. It's 4th and 3 in the 4th quarter with just 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. The model recommends going for it with a 35.2% win probability compared to just 23.9% if you kick a field goal. The model calculates win probability and expected points for all possible outcomes and identifies the optimal decision.
The second model is a play success model trained on over 15,000 plays that takes it down, distance, field position, score differential, and time remaining. This model predicts whether a run or a pass is more likely to succeed in a given situation. The models think like thousands of coaching staffs instead of a single coordinator. It runs hundreds of independent evaluations of similar situations trained on real plays right from Harvard-Davis Field and similar competition. Then the model takes the majority answer.
Going forward, we plan to develop additional variables that the models can use, including weather, home field advantage, and opponent quality. We're also working on a 2-point conversion model and an onside kick model.
The second deliverable involved designing and producing a custom Millsaps football fan guide. The goal of the fan guide is to grow the community around the team. It highlights game day traditions, student organizations, and local Jackson businesses. We produced a guide for each home game that highlighted what was going on in that given week.
For example, for the Hall of Fame game, we highlighted the inductees, and for senior day, we featured the seniors. We looked at how larger college programs use fan guides and adapted those ideas for Millsaps. The guides helped to create a more elevated game day experience and made parents, students, and fans feel more connected to the program. Overall, the project gave Millsaps football both a practical decision-making tool and a stronger way to engage this broader community.
Thank you all so much. That concludes our presentation in Group 2. We're now going to pass the mic off to Landry for questions.
Yeah, please, Great.
Did you get any feedback from Coach Leck on the decision-making algorithm? Any results of how it helped the team this year?
So the 4th down decision model has not been in the coach's hands yet. We did meet with him actually yesterday to get feedback on how it's working right now. But they haven't actually used it in game or during the season yet.
Well, I could have sworn you did. His first home game of the season this year, his Jack threw a 4th down pass across the way. And I said to myself, it must have been the algorithm.
I can actually provide a quick explanation on this. I was a part of the Millsaps football team for the last 3 years. I was on the team that went 1-9, terrible season. And I was also part of the team that started implementing the analytics that ELSEWORKS teams provided. And I can just tell you straight up, like, we were using it every week, going into scouting reports. Halftime, we were looking at the first half analyses. We were looking at it post-game. And I could only see the progress of improvement, as you all can see. Like, we were 1-9, then we just went immediately to 500, and then for the first time since 2013, we had a winning season. And I can only see the benefits from it.
And this season, we're going to turn.
Come on, Al.
That's it.
Come on, Al.
That's it. Do we have any other questions for this group of 5 teams here?
I failed to recognize one of the project leaders, and it's a water red. Water, wastewater production, and the hangar, which was really bad, the best years ago. And like I said, Coach Perry ELSEWORKS, and he lives in town, works in town. He's really association down board. He's also on that young farm board for the state. I want to give him a couple seconds to talk about where he is.
All right, afternoon, everybody. Like you said, I'm Robert. Afternoon, everybody. As you said earlier, I'm Robert, Midtown resident, Jackson native. It's exciting to be here. It's my second time here this year to see the presentation, and so grateful for all the hard work that was put into helping me bring this idea to fruition and make it a reality. Building a soundstage in Jackson, in Midtown. I think it's a really important idea. I'm excited to be able to use some tangible tools, to be able to get out here and do our first rounds of seed funding and partnerships. But they're doing a great job of helping us, just look even more legitimate and put numbers and facts and figures to the things that we're trying to bring, because we're really trying to work on transforming our neighborhood, and transforming our city. So thank you guys. Thanks for the opportunity. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much for that, Roger. We have a question up there. Can we get a mic over there, Colin? Thank you. Okay, you don't need one either. Good. I like this. Let's go.
I don't know which door the sample from River Remedy will be.
Brad, we got anything on that? Thank you so much. I'd like to call Group 2 off the stage at this time. Thank you all. I'd like to call Group 3 up to the stage.
This year, our team has been working with Kip Bieber and Jeff Speed, the ones who own and manage the properties along East Capitol Street. Through this relationship, we were introduced to Ray and Tasha, the owners of Ray's Barbecue. My name is Keely Marshall.
And I'm Anthony Jasinski, and we are both seniors here at Millsaps, and both from the Jackson metro area. Ray's Barbecue is a locally owned restaurant on Capitol Street, and the team's work is focused on evaluating operations and identifying opportunities for improvement, including completing a full customer contact audit. The audit evaluated every step of customer experience, from online search to ordering to service flow and even more.
The team's visits, including a secret eating experience and meetings with Ray himself, gave us great insight into the business. Ray shared details about staffing challenges, menu performance, and what he'd like to do differently moving forward. All of this helped us see the business not just from the perspective as a customer, but also from the perspective as an owner.
Major component of the audit was the menu. You see, Ray's has everything from smoked wings, ribs, seafood platters, and loaded fries. The food is the reason you come back. They already have the products right. The team recommended making small changes to help the menu look cleaner and more consistent.
Our team also recommended adding a Ray's favorite symbol next to standout dishes. And finally, we suggested adding small upsell prompts such as make it a combo or add a side. The team recommended several operational improvements, including added a dedicated pickup shelf, putting countertop containers for napkins and utensils, and also stronger online visibility through updated keywords. The team also suggested simplifying the name from Ray's to Go to Ray's Barbecue, which they have already done.
The team also found an opportunity to streamline ordering systems by consolidating Square and Menufy into a single platform. In addition, interior updates could further enhance the overall customer experience. The team presented recommendations to Ray, and he was very receptive and has already started implementing some of these recommendations. Our next steps include working with Liz Brister and Joshua McManus through the Jackson Rising Initiative. a collaborative leadership effort led by Mayor John Horn that aligns public, private, and philanthropic partners around a shared vision for Jackson's future. This model is led by Josh McManus, who's implemented similar initiatives in cities such as Chattanooga and downtown Detroit.
This model includes the Urban Studio Incubator, which brings fellows from Millsaps, Jackson State, and Mississippi State to support real investable projects across the city. The team has been asked to continue with this effort and continue this work over the summer. Now, from smoke and grills to books and brews, we have Karam and Zena with Coffee Prose.
Coffee Prose is a community-centered bookstore and a coffee shop located in Midtown Jackson that has long served as a gathering space for students, residents, and the community members.
And this has been an ongoing ELSEWORKS project, and this year marks as a major transition in its evolution. Hi everyone, I am Param Narayan, a graduate analyst from Lucknow, India.
And I am Zainab Patanwala, a sophomore analyst from Indore, India. Coffee Prose is currently transitioning into a non-profit under Midtown Partners with leadership from Dr. Christy Hendricks. This shift creates a more structured and sustainable foundation while expanding its role into a learning lab that supports education, collaboration, and community engagement.
This semester, our team focused on the book side of the business, which included fully organizing and categorizing the inventory based on genre, author, condition, and relevance. All this creating a system that is easier to manage and scale over time.
In addition, the team developed a more structured pricing approach for both books and coffee. For books, pricing is now aligned with market value and is adjusted based on key factors such as demand and condition of the book. For coffee, pricing is reviewed every 6 months to ensure it remains aligned with inflation and operating costs. Together, these efforts support a more sustainable and operationally sound model at Coffee Prose, as Coffee Prose continues to grow.
And with this transition to a non-profit and a stronger internal systems in place, Coffee Prose is positioned to expand its impact as a long-term community and a learning space in the Midtown.
Now, from warmth in your coffee cup to warmth in your home, let's transition to Anthony and Param with Koala Insulation.
So, most homeowners deal with high energy bills and inconsistent temperatures, and they don't really realize that insulation is often the underlying issue.
This next project, Koala Insulation, is a franchise owned by Bo Brady and employs former ELSEWORKS analyst Zach Ferris in the Jackson branch. Again, I'm Anthony, and this is Param. The team started working on Koala Insulation project a little bit after spring break.
So our focus has been on growing Koala's market in the Jackson metro area where there is opportunity, but a limited brand awareness. So our team is particularly targeting the re-insulation for older homes. So most homeowners experience heating and cooling issues, but they don't connect them to insulation. Noticing that, our focus centers on making Koala more visible and clearly positioned as a solution within the local Jackson metro market. And now considering that, our team identified neighborhoods by focusing on older housing stock and filtering by income levels just to target homeowners with both need and purchasing ability. So this creates a more focused approach, allowing outreach to be directed towards the highest value segments. An awareness plan is also recommended that combines targeted digital campaigns, local influencer partnerships, direct mail, and selective television placements. And also in addition to that, outreach strategies are recommended too, and they are built around real estate professionals, property managers, and builders, so as to create consistent referral channels and repeated business opportunities.
The goal is to position Koala as a trusted professional provider that improves both home performance and long-term value. With this execution, this approach is expected to increase visibility and support growth across the Jackson metro market. Now, from insulating the home, we turn to a place to strengthen something just as important, the heart of the community. Let's transition to Colin and Mallory with the Galloway United Methodist Church team.
Galloway United Methodist Church has a strong history, a clear mission, and a wide reach across Jackson. However, there is a noticeable gap in one area: engagement from young adults and college students. On a typical Sunday, you can look around and you'll see a committed congregation and feel a strong online presence. However, there are very few individual people within the age groups of 18 to 30 physically present. That disconnect is where our project's focus lies. Hi, I'm Colin Edwards, undergraduate analyst from Madisonville, Louisiana.
And I'm Mallory Richardson, a senior analyst from Pensacola, Florida. This year, the team was asked to evaluate that opportunity in depth and develop a structured, long-term approach to build a sustainable college and young adult ministry. The work began by understanding Galloway's current reality. The team conducted interviews with church leadership, including Reverend Katie Geed, Reverend Dr. Reagan Muskelly, Reverend Ricky James, Reverend Lori Till, and board leadership through Brad Chisholm and Judge Virginia Carlton. Across those conversations, a consistent theme appeared. Galloway already has existing touch points, including Millsaps partnerships, seasonal events, and long-term community. But they do not yet create a clear or repeatable pathway for young adults to enter, return to, and build long-term community.
From a strategic standpoint, the challenge is not a lack of intent. It is a lack of structure, consistency, and dedicated leadership capacity to sustain engagement over time. From there, our team's analysis expanded outward. The team evaluated the Jackson landscape as a whole, including Millsaps, Belhaven, Jackson State, UMC, and local community colleges. Through all this, collectively, this represents over 1,000 young adults and professionals who are all within the 10 to 15-minute radius of Galloway.
The team also analyzed comparable ministries, including Fondren Church, Pine Lake Church, First Baptist Jackson, and Wells Memorial. Despite differences in size and style, the pattern consistently appeared. Successful ministries are not built on events alone. They are built on three things: consistent rhythm, relational leadership, and clear identity. That became the foundation for our strategy moving forward. The result was a comprehensive strategic report and an implementation roadmap. As you can see above, that roadmap also included a 5-year plan designed to help Galloway build this ministry with greater clarity, consistency, and long-term direction. The team identified the target market as ages 18 to 30, not just traditional undergraduates, but recent graduates and young professionals navigating through early life transitions. A key recommendation was the creation of a dedicated college and young adult pastor or director role.
This role is not just administrative. It is relational and highly visible, focused on outreach, teaching, one-on-one connection, and building long-term ministry. Across every successful model that we have studied, leadership was the #1 key factor in growth. Our report was designed to be practical, not theoretical. It includes a fully built ministry framework, including a sample weekly night structure, a monthly teaching model, and a defined communication strategy. It is intentionally simple and repeatable: food, teaching, and discussion.
The team also analyzed key performance indicators to measure success beyond attendance, including retention, small group participation, and long-term integration into church life. Financial scenarios were also included, outlining both phased and full-time investment paths, allowing leadership to evaluate the ministry from both a strategic and operational standpoint. A key insight from the report is that this opportunity extends beyond programming. It is fundamentally about belonging. Research and interviews consistently showed that young adults do not engage through structure first. They engage through connection.
And this reflects the broader shift from believe, behave, belong to belong, behave, believe. In other words, for these young adults in their lives, relationship now precedes commitment. That is why Grace Place, Galloway's homeless outreach ministry, was identified as a critical entry point. It is a low barrier, highly relational environment where these young adults can go and they can build these connections without pressure. This past Tuesday, our team presented our findings to the Galloway Board of Administrators, where the feedback was overwhelmingly positive.
That concludes our presentation for this project in Group 3. Thank you for your attention. And now we'll hand it over to Landry to open the floor for any questions.
I'd like to open the floor for a few questions now, if we had any for either these groups or any of the groups presented here today. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you all. I'd like to, I'll call my analysts to the front up here real quickly. And that concludes our presentations, analysts.
say